The upcoming Asian Winter Games will be held in 2029, according to the host city's recent announcement. Saudi Arabia was picked as the host. It is a country with a hot desert climate. Saudi Arabia intends to construct Trojena, a sizable yet-to-be-constructed ski resort, in order to make the games feasible. But is it sensible to construct a ski resort in this area? And how, in just 4 years, will Saudi Arabia be able to complete such a challenging megaproject without any pre-existing infrastructure? Let's find out. Saudi Arabia is currently engaged in an ambitious effort to wean its economy off of its reliance on oil. Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman unveiled the Saudi Vision 2030 to carry out this mission. This also applies to the boundary that is currently the subject of intense debate, with views ranging from the dawn of civilization to a terrifying dystopia beyond the boundary. Neom will be working on additional projects, one of which is Trojena, a ski resort that seeks to redefine mountain tourism and make the kingdom a significant regional travel hub. So, how will it appear? It will look like Trojena. Located 50 kilometers from the Gulf of Aqaba, tall mountains, some of which rise 2,600 meters above sea level, can be found in the area. Even though the high deserts of Saudi Arabia are more well known for them, the country's winter temperatures are frequently below freezing. This is why a year-round ski resort was chosen for this location. A ski resort, a man-made freshwater lake, and a vertical village within the mountains called the Vault, which will serve as the venue's main entrance, are all planned for Trojena. The mountainsides will act as a roof over the village, and the vault will be tucked between them. The resort's entire landscape, including the ski slope and freshwater lake, will then be visible, providing mesmerizing views. Visitors can also expect a variety of experiences in Trojena. Throughout the year, the resort will provide wellness, lake season for water sports, adventure season for activities such as paragliding and mountain biking, and winter season. The announcement of the 2029 Winter Games included thorough preparations for Trojena. An outrageous bid was made by Saudi Arabia to host the Asian Winter Games in 2029. Western Asia has never been considered as a host for the Winter Games because of the region's predominantly desert landscape. Saudi Arabia was the only candidate to host the event, as the Olympic Council of Asia struggled to find hosts. The OCA thus formally announced Saudi Arabia as the host nation for the 2029 Asian Winter Games on October 4, 2022. Saudi officials remain confident in their ability to host a winter sports competition that, quote-unquote, challenges perceptions despite PetroChina's ongoing construction and the fact that it is unclear whether they have even begun. Neom chief executive, not me. According to Al Nasir, the Winter Games in Trojena will be a historic international occasion. If Saudi Arabia wants the venue to be ready in time for the Winter Games, there are still obstacles to be overcome. The resort should be ready by 2026, according to the officials. The viability of the ambitious schedule has been questioned by critics, who point out a lack of infrastructure and claim that the entire area will need to be constructed from scratch. However, is it wise to hold the Winter Olympics in Saudi Arabia? The temperature in the mountains can drop below the freezing point during the winter, despite the fact that it is much cooler there than it is elsewhere in the area. With only 2 occurrences in the previous 5 years, snowfall is still a rare occurrence in the area. It won't be enough snow, even if Trojena gets some, to cover the ski slopes all winter. In order for the outdoor resort to successfully host the Winter Games, artificial snowmaking equipment will be necessary. According to Neom Managing Director Yen Patterson, up to 70% of the snow cover at the resort will be artificial. There is a possibility, though, that they will have to use only artificial snow for the event given the local weather patterns. Saudi Arabia won't be the first nation to do this, as Beijing hosted the first Winter Olympics in 2022 that used only artificial snow. Therefore, the snowmaking equipment is effective and has been used to great effect in ski resorts all over the world. However, because of the extent to which Saudi Arabia intends to use them, there are questions about how much water will be used to enable the games. For instance, China used more than 1 billion liters of water, enough snow for one day, to provide drinking water for hundreds of millions of people. The proposed artificial freshwater lake is intended to be used as fuel for the snow machines at Trojena. It implies that a large pipeline carrying desalinated water from the Red Sea will have to be used all year to pump water into the lake. It will take a tremendous amount of energy to move the water 50 kilometers upstream from its source. Therefore, the project's sustainability is called into question by the difficulty of producing enough artificial snow, which has led to criticism of Saudi Arabia's sustainability claims. Building a city from scratch, especially one that will consume so much energy throughout the year, has drawn criticism from a wide range of organizations and even Olympic athletes. Opponents of Saudi Arabian plants contend that the nation only cares about improving its reputation abroad and has no interest in sustainability or the environment. The nation has recently made great efforts to promote sports tourism on its soil. In recent months, they have played host to some high-profile boxing matches, Formula One races, and even wrestling events. Newcastle United, an English Premier League team, was also recently acquired by a consortium led by the Saudi Arabian government. Additionally, talks are ongoing for Egypt, Greece, and Saudi Arabia to submit a bid to host the 2030 FIFA World Cup. Saudi Arabia is still optimistic that Trojena will be finished on schedule despite the criticism. So what will happen next? The venue's construction is scheduled to start in 2022. The planners have so far stuck with the completion date of 2026. Even after the Winter Olympics, Saudi Arabia has bid plans for the location and anticipates that it will draw 700,000 annual visitors and 7,000 permanent residents by 2030. The nation will also try to build on the success of the Winter Olympics by submitting an Olympic bid later on. To make all of that possible, the Desert Kingdom will need to find environmentally friendly ways to reduce the enormous environmental impact of creating brand new modern megacities. What do you think about Saudi Arabia's Winter Olympics plans? Do you have any doubts about this, or do you think the change in Saudi Arabia is positive? Tell us in the comments section below.